Oh wow, we are totally screwed in this housing market. What's going on? You were totally screwed 10, 12, 15 years ago. It's just catching up today. You were already screwed, but you didn't care. Artificially low interest rates. Take on more debt. It's cheap money, cheap money, cheap money. Let's compete with money launderers from China bringing in the fentanyl. You were competing with artificial shortages. You were competing with money launderers to get a basic one-bedroom apartment just to get yourself on the property ladder. Remember those real estate agents? If you don't buy anything today, you would be totally bought out of the market. You will never own nothing. Yeah. Well, that's what it is. Now it's starting to catch up. You were screwed years ago. It's just catching up now. And now it's in your face. And I'm getting bombarded with so many links to housing videos. And Mike, what's going on? You knew what was going on. We were telling you 10 years ago what was going on. And here it is, folks. It's in your face now. And more people are, what are they doing? They're mass exodusing. Like we predicted. London, England, Melbourne, Sydney, Australia, Auckland, New Zealand, Toronto, Vancouver, Seattle, that's California, wagons east, right? Moving east to turn the rest of America into California. Oh yeah, California mass exodus. Oregonians mass exodus, wagons east. Now it's happening, and it's actually happening full front. It's happening in your face. Now, I got this interesting article. Canada believes that we're going to lower interest rates a bit. And we're just going to increase the price of building housing. We're going to make it more expensive. And this will get more builders on board. It's just going to make it more expensive for you. It makes no sense. It's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. So there it is. Canada's CMHC internal messages show housing supply narrative is BS. And it's from our friends here at Better Dwelling. And if you go down, CMHC internal chats claim higher prices will improve supply. That's total BS. And central bank lowers rates to raise prices, not to improve affordability. And again, it's this massive housing Ponzi scheme that was built off artificial shortages, money laundering, and fentanyl. And we were already warning you guys about this, and we were telling you guys, massive condo oversupply, housing supply narrative is total BS. Wake up, people. Fake GDP. We were also pointing to the fact that, no, the housing crisis will not be solved by building more homes. I was bombarded with so many emails when I made this video 5 years, almost 6 years ago. Artificial shortages, supply versus demand is a total lie. It's all Chinese CPP money laundering. So we're competing with that, right? And if you don't believe that, then look at our GDP. Major Canadian real estate debt passed 76% of GDP. Mass inflation to hit by 2022. Tax hikes again. Mortgage debt passes 80% of GDP. Economic storm hitting. Major tax hikes. Major exodus ahead. Countries using housing to prop GDP market will crash by 2025. And we go into Japan. We go into everywhere. Australia, New Zealand, the UK, the blue states of America, all under the same phenomena. Now we're getting this from Better Dwelling. Over 4 in 5 Greater Toronto leveraged condos, investors are losing money. Yeah, when you're paying an absorbent amount of money for a condo that you could realistically buy in some of the United States for like $60,000, $70,000, and you're paying $700,000, $800,000 in Canada, you're screwed, right? So, well, we're telling you, look, homeowners going broke, severely over-leveraged, and using homes as ATM machines. Australian housing alarm bells. Over-leveraged families will be underwater by 2022. BC versus Ontario. Canada's eviction capital. Over-leveraged landlords will be taxed to death. Canadian housing disaster. People using homes as ATM machine. Over-leveraged to the max. Look, banks will be pressured by governments to foreclose on over-leveraged clients. Wow. So that was a prediction video we made. So that's what's happening there. Look, Canadian real estate faces the worst market since the 90s recession, says CIBC. Well, CIBC, here's the problem. We are not in a recession. We are in a depression. And that's something we've been saying here. Depression versus recession. We are in a recession. We are headed to a depression by 2020. Suicide rates up and set to skyrocket 6 years ago. So we will be in a depression by 2020. Alert, Canada is officially in a recession. We are headed to mass depression by 2024. So it just goes into depression versus recession, and we all have been very vocal about that overall these years. The problems were already there back in the day. They were already implanted, the seeds were planted, and now it's in your face. What do you do now? We couldn't, somebody commented on a video I made, we couldn't fight those problems back then because we didn't know, we weren't informed. Yeah, you were informed. You had an severely undereducated guy that can't even read, that's been warning you, that sells toys, that's been warning you for years about this and how it's going to unfold and how it's going to break you, divide your family, and destroy you. And then they pulled the trigger on a pandemic on top of that in 2019 when people were protesting no confidence in government. And now Amerifornia is raging across America. I could bring up the video. Real estate prices set to double with Biden's selection. The day he got selected into office. Selected. Amerifornia is coming. Wagons East. Now it's happening. It's happening everywhere. And now it's in your face. And now 10, 20 years ago when you were making fun of me of the videos I was making, how people won't be able to buy food by 2022, that video, you guys were laughing at me. Oh, food will always remain cheap in Western countries, Mike. You're out to lunch. You don't know what you're talking about. It's happening. Here it is. Anyways, guys, I hope this was informative. Maybe you could share this video and let people know that the message, it was always out there. Everything was out there in your face. Do it. Yeah, well, we could have done something about it years ago, but we didn't. Mike Martins here. I have spoken.